It was great. Good opportunity, to talk to different people. It's always a blessing to talk to different people, meet new people. Super early after a late game, so but it was great. I'd say it was great, man.
But for you, I guess like how do you obviously you had a hell of a game the other night, but now it's like
Appreciate
that's
it.
in the past. Now it's like you
Definitely.
got a new game coming up. It's like how do you kind of reset for you?
For me, it's just building blocks. Just trying to take steps in the right direction. Learn from film. I was just watching film just now. I'm just learning, knowing team tendencies, knowing what they do. I say it's just a steady progression. That's all it is. Man. It's steady progression. I play one NBA game, and that don't determine who I am as a player. So just continue building, continue growing.
What's the best way for you guys as guards, you, Reese, and Jared, and Hugh, to kind of mesh your style of play, the way you guys like to get up and down the floor, with Joe's style of play?
I'm still learning everybody. In the NBA actual game setting, I'm still learning everybody. I'm still learning everybody. And they're all learning how to play with me on the floor. But nobody's style of play is changing at all. With Joe on the floor, like I said, we haven't seen a full. Joe played like 18 minutes last game. So we know it's gonna be different. But like I said, it's gonna be better for us. It's gonna be better for the team, man. He's so good. He's just so good at basketball. And Tyrese and Q and Jared, so good at basketball. They make the game easy. So I say we all just gonna play off of each other. We all compliment each other. So yeah.
You, you and Tyrese clearly both in a zone during that game. I'm curious, is that like the best that you and a teammate have ever been going in the same game in your experience?
Yeah. Yeah, 40 points. So yeah, I would say that's the best. Definitely, I would say that's the best.
What
He's
is sorry?
Nah, you're good, man. You're good. You guys are coaching. You're good.
What is it like to be on the floor with him when he's in the middle of one of those heaters?
Man, it's so crazy. I was actually watching when he started. I was watching from the bench. I'm like, yeah. I just realized how good he is. Man. He's really good. And say being able to have a teammate like that, man. It helped me. I wasn't expecting to have wide open shots like that, like super wide open. Like I said, he requires so much attention. So man, he's good, and he's only getting better.
EJ, tomorrow played one of the other top 5 picks in the class in Conca-Nipple. First time you're going to play one of these guys from your class like that. Is there anything extra for you to compare yourself, prove yourself against guys in your draft class, or every game kind of the same?
Nah, every game is the same, man. I'm not looking at them as, I'm not trying to compare myself. That's a comparison's a thief of joy, man. So I'm trying to be happy on the floor. I'm trying to have fun. I'm not worried about a certain player on the floor. They have they're a team full of good players. And my main goal is just going there and win. To be honest, you know, that's the main thing for me. I don't compare myself to no other draft picks or anything like that.
Is there anything specific from that film that you're focused on or trying to do even better moving forward?
Just regular stuff on how to read the floor. That's the main thing. Just seeing things before it happened, knowing where defenders are, knowing what other teams like to do, knowing tendencies. So that's the main thing I study.
I know you've been around Dominic Barlow a lot. You guys were,
My
at
dog.
Disneyland together and all that. So I guess how much has all that helped, for on opening night when things are, he's playing big minutes, when he's even closing the game at the 5, how much does that kind of camaraderie help?
Nah, it helps a lot. Dom is a really good player, really versatile player also. Someone that can stretch the floor, someone that can also attack the rim, offensive rebound. He does all the little things. Man, credit to Dom, man. I know I see him in there every day. He's working hard. He's always in there working hard every day, man. So, I know he know what he's doing well. The team know what he's doing well. He know what he needs to do. So yeah.
What kind of fan reaction have you gotten since Wednesday night? Has it been different just in the past couple of days?
So nobody really seeing me. I've been in my house. I haven't been out. As far as I go to my car, and my windows are tinted, so you can't see if that's me or not.
Are you anticipating when you do go out eventually?
Yeah. Because even before the season, they were showing love to me. And it's like I said, I just want to keep getting better. So the city's happy. That's the main thing. We want to win, man. That's the main goal for us.
I mean, I guess I'm sure you're excited just to get in front of the home crowd, but do you feel any of that though? Like the anticipation after you had that big night and the win, that the fans are maybe like a little bit more juiced up than maybe they would have been otherwise?
Man, to be honest, man, I know Philly fans are passionate, so I'm expecting every game to be like that, even if I had a good game or not. I was expecting it to be like that. So, man, like I say, man, just credit to the fans for just showing love to the city and showing love to the sports teams, man. That's the main thing. We all just try to have a connection with the fans. We're regular people. You're regular people also. So that's having a connection with the fans. It means a lot.
We had a minute restriction on him, and we took it right to where it was supposed to be. They were relatively small. I mean, we ended up with Walker and Barlow for a good stretch. And then I just wanted to give a look of us matching in small and just what it would look like, and that ended up Barlow. I guess it worked out. It worked out pretty good considering I think that my organization things I always talk about. Kelly hasn't spent much time at the 4. Right. I know again, like I hate to say it, but there was one out of bounds play where nobody had any idea what they were doing because we had such a lineup in there. But thank God, Tyrese threw it up to VJ. He just went up and caught it. Right. So I guess it could happen. So I think Walker, Barlow, any of those guys could play some 5 at times.
So was Joel definitively not available for the game?
That was right to his minutes restricted. Yeah.
You know how long you anticipate being right at 20?
Nope, I don't. I'm until I hear differently. I'm gonna assume it's that, but it could slide at any time.
What are the challenges of fitting Joel into a 20-minute pad, wanting him to be out there, the more important parts of the game?
Well, I think, there wasn't much of a challenge. We knew going in what it was. It was very similar to what it was in the preseason game. And we had a plan of what we were going to do with it, and it pretty much stuck to that plan. It wasn't a whole variation, so we kind of knew we were going to be when we'd have them, when we wouldn't, and we had a pretty good idea of what we were going to do with the other guys. Now, that moved. Always. I don't know if I've ever preconceived what the rotations, but I don't know if they ever turn out. You know what I mean? There's always some adjustment to it. So we did adjust. Arlo, Walker, threw Drum in there for a bit. Like we were looking around a little bit there for a minute. But that's just kind of the way it is.
I mean, even having Friday's preseason game, the time in between, and then a regular season game, and I guess even 2 days after, are these helpful data points for you and the training staff, and just to continue to work through what is possible and feasible and how to approach things?
Yeah, I think that I did like the preseason schedule, the way it gave us a game and then gave us kind of a long time to talk about that game and then another game until our game. And this is nice to have 2 days. I mean, you don't get this that often. That's going to end pretty quick, right? 2 days in between games. But yeah, I think it was an intense game, high speed, heavy minutes for a couple guys. I think that the extra day to get them recharged is always helpful. Same with the coaches, we get a chance to look at it a little more thoroughly, really put together a good teaching edit today. When you get extra time, I think you get a chance to go through it and keep, throw, rearrange a little bit better.
I mean, even in regards to Joel's health too, because you've always talked about how he responds and sort of that in between time is as important as entry games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's good too. I think we're still learning all that stuff as well. And again, I think can't say it enough. I was glad to have him out there. I was glad in his prep. He really worked hard to get to that point. And continues to do that, and let's just keep it moving in a positive direction.
Nick, when it became clear you guys were going to have this guard-heavy group to the extent that you do, were there any particular teams that you looked at outwardly as these guys play this free guard, even you mentioned four guard, and you
Yeah.
play these multi-guard lineups really well that you want to borrow from. Just think about how you're subbing the team.
I mean, listen, I think that, both the teams that made the finals last year were pretty guard/wing heavy and played a lot of them, interchangeable parts and things like that. But I don't, I mean, I watched their games. I didn't like do any deep dives on them or anything like that. I think we're, as a staff, we did a lot of deep diving on thinking of what we wanted it to look like. And I think we're in the early stages of it for us, but I think we're making some progress.
Last year,
Last couple questions.
Gershon was a really good connective piece. I'm sure you're hopeful Trendon would be the same, but do you view Dominic Barlow a little bit in that regard too? He had the 5 assists the other night.
Yeah, I mean, I think, in the ideal world, you want guys that can do multiple things, right? And I think that Barlow's he's done one thing really well, which is play really hard. 1A would be crashing the glass, but he's also knows what he's doing out there. He knows what he's doing, and he makes the right reads. And he can take it off the bounce a bit. I mean, I think that's something that should grow into his game. I mean, and I do believe that he's going to shoot the ball at some point. Right? I don't know when that's going to be, but it's been several months where the staff is him, so I said to him, man, when we're doing the shot one day this summer, he goes, I'll be there tomorrow, man. I'll be there any day you want me to be there, right? So he's put in the time, and I think that he'll get some of those rewards at some point as well.
Overall, that's probably not the way you wanted to play on the other night, but just talk about the resilience that you have personally to kind of fight all that stuff off, hit the big three, attack the closeout baseline, got fouled, couple of big rebounds down at the end. Just to close that off, to finish that game off, playing well when you weren't playing well the entire game.
Yeah, you got to find ways to win. You're never gonna have great nights all the time. You got to go out there and make an impact and winning. I feel like I did that down the stretch. Like you said, hit big threes, defensively and stuff like that. So just finding a way to win at all costs, really.
How impressive was BJ for you?
Yeah, super impressive. Coming out there, no fear at all, attacking Boston like he did. It was great to see from his first game for sure.
You and Tyrese and BJ sharing the floor, I think it was plus 17 or plus 19, something good. You guys finished the game together and completed the comeback. I guess, what did you make of those minutes, and how confident are you in the three of you guys being able to share the floor consistently?
Yeah, super confident. Three guys that can make plays for each other or a teammate, all can score at all three levels. So I feel like having us is a premium. Three guys who can all handle the ball, pick and roll, shoot, and just make plays is definitely a premium in this league for sure.
Dominic Barlow obviously has made a big impact, even going back to the preseason. Just what is unique about him in the way that he can do a lot of different things? Obviously, crash the glass, had some assists the other night.
Yeah.
What is it like being on the floor with him? What makes him unique?
I think he can do everything. You really, he can shoot the ball a little bit. He can put on the ground, make plays for himself, like I said, for others. So just having a guy like that kind of just stretch the defense, get kind of everybody out the thing because they got on his side a little bit. Then he's on the ground. He's just active, just long, athletic. So having a guy like that, we just kind of do a little bit of everything. Kind of helps us worry about kind of our matchup and stuff like that on the defensive end.
It doesn't seem like there was a lot of practice reps with Barlow at the 5 and Kelly at the 4. What is that like when you have to kind of you're closing out a game and you're doing a lineup that's maybe not the most familiar?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the adjustment.
Yeah, you got to find a way to win. It's basketball at the end of the day. You go out there, play hard, and we've been practicing each other for at least since I've been about a couple of weeks now. So we may not be all used to each other and everything with the lineups and stuff like that, but just finding a way to win. Have to carry on longer down the season for sure. Just find a way to, even though it's maybe an ugly game in the first couple of 3 quarters, but at the end of the game, you got to find a way to win.
And do you think that's something that kind of helped the group? First game you were able to do that, and maybe that's a building block for the rest of the season.
Yeah, for sure. Just knowing that, they had Boston play pretty well the first 2 quarters, went on a good little run, and we went on a run ourselves in the 4th quarter, and it kind of helped us with that momentum, close out the game, get some stops, ultimately come out with a win.